Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and participants. I am Ria from Strategic, and it gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all to today's exclusive webinar on Industry 4.0 Transforming Manufacturing with Networking on behalf of Ruckus Networks, a Comscope company, and Strategic. The manufacturing industry is undergoing a significant revolution with the advent of Industry 4.0. For next 1 hour, we will delve deep into how advanced technologies are embracing the manufacturing sector in India and how businesses can embrace them to drive operational resilience and stay ahead in the competitive market. Throughout the webinar, we encourage you to actively participate with our speaker and engage by asking questions or sharing your thoughts in the chat box of your screen. We value your input and want to create an interactive and enriching experience. Today, we have with us Chetan Mistry, Pre-Sales System Engineer, Ruckus, who will embark us on this exciting journey as we explore the possibilities, challenges, and future of manufacturing in the era of Industry 4.0. Over to you, Mr. Chetan.
Thanks, Ria. Hello, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining us, joining with us, providing your times to attend this session. So basically, my name is Chetan Mistry from Ruckus Networks. I am the pre-sales technical architect based out of Mumbai. Today, I'm going to talk about manufacturing sector and how Industry 4.0 is transforming the manufacturing sector from an IT, networking, and IoT perspective as well. So before I start, just a single slide on what a company has to offer. So basically, Ruckus Networks is part of a larger entity called Comscope. So Comscope is basically into passive infrastructure. We have a manufacturing hub here in Goa through various acquisitions. So Ruckus is a separate entity and a business unit within Comscope. Comscope as a company holds more than 15,000 patents, and one of the most good thing about Ruckus is that our Comscope is that we invest almost 10% of our revenue into R&D. Here you can see the different companies that form part of the Comscope, and Ruckus is one of them. Coming to today's agenda, so basically we'll understand what is happening in the manufacturing sector within India. What is the state of manufacturing in India? What are the technology trends that are driving the manufacturing sector, and specifically the networking trends in manufacturing? We'll go through Industry 4.0 overview, what are the challenges, and also speak about industrial IoT, the design, the architecture, and the challenges as well. Then we'll also speak about AI and network automation, which is gaining some momentum in manufacturing, industrial IoT, or Industry 4.0. And in the end, we'll talk about what Ruckus has to offer when it comes to manufacturing and industrial IoT. So to understand what is happening with the manufacturing state within India, there are multiple factors that are boosting manufacturing in India. As you can see, these are certain facts and figures from third-party sources. So what we understand, obviously, is Asia is one of the biggest manufacturing hub in India. China is the front runner, but India is not going to be behind. So as you can see, India is going to become one of the largest manufacturing hub, not only in Asia but also globally. So then there are government initiatives which are there to boost the manufacturing sector in India. Most prominently, the Make in India initiative from the present government. And third, but not the least, a lot of investment is happening in different verticals or industry segments within manufacturing. So, be it the chemical sector or the pharmaceutical, coal, cement, power, each of these industries has a lot of investments, especially foreign direct investments, FDI as we call it, in each of these sectors. So it is basically a positive momentum that we see when it comes to manufacturing. Now, what are the manufacturing trends? When it in 2023. So as you can see, industrial automation and IoT. These are the two biggest manufacturing trends. In 2023, and it's going to be ahead as well. So we are going to speak about industrial automation, IoT, artificial intelligence in detail, right? And then obviously, the cloud computing, big data, analytics, all these are also gaining or some trend in 2023. So this is one simple example, right? So basically, for an example, in manufacturing a warehouse, you had a lot of human intervention, which are basically getting replaced by these robots, which ultimately connect to the network. So we are going to see in detail how networking is going to help uh, boost the manufacturing or help in the productivity, efficiency, cost reduction in manufacturing sector. Specifically talking about what are the networking trends in manufacturing, these are the four trends which we see. The biggest one is cloud adoption. So when it comes to manufacturing, right, and specifically with IT and networking, the trend has been for companies to go with lean IT. And when we talk about lean IT, cloud adoption is the biggest. So almost 62% of the companies globally, they plan to increase their investment in cloud computing. The reason being is that the the sites or the manufacturing hubs, they are located remotely, so you cannot invest more into skilled labor at each of these remote sites. So they want the manufacturing companies, what is they want reduced investments when it comes to IT labor and all. So cloud is one technology where it makes things simpler for you. It gives you a single pane of glass management for your infrastructure. IT infrastructure makes things simpler for you, and in that way you can reduce your investment as well. Another big factor or trend has been analytics and big data, and I'm going to speak in detail in my coming slides as well on this. So today it's not only basically gathering data, but they want to understand, companies want to understand how they want to slice and analyze the data, and in turn conclude how this whatever investment that companies are making in terms of IT, how it is boosting the production and giving them a good ROI, right? The third biggest factor is in terms of IoT, artificial intelligence, and ML, machine learning, right? So not only the IT related devices need to be connected. Today, non-IT devices, basically your sensors or your SCADA system, PLCs, need to be connected onto the IT network. So, and once they are connected, you need to know how their uptime, productivity as well. So therein comes the benefits of AI ML, which I'm going to speak as well, right? And then smart factories and manufacturing. So it's not only automation, but how smartly you can turn your operations, production environments, so that it ultimately gives you a better return on investment, increases your revenue, increases your productivity as well. And when we talk about automation, there are varied technologies that help turning these factories into smart factories or smart manufacturing. Be it cloud connectivity, edge computing, or even technologies like 5G, Wi-Fi, and IoT. So, in terms of Industry 4.0, this is how the industry has been evolving, right? So we started with a steam engine, back into the 18th century. We had electricity being used to increase the production, mass production specifically. Then there was a stage in the 1970s, 80s where we used the computers and did some kind of automation to increase the productivity. But come Industry 4.0, so we are not only using computers, we are also using automation, and then we are analyzing whatever data is available to us and assessing whether this through that data, how about our production, the business outcomes as well. So it is more not only about automation, but basically gathering data, analyzing that data to understand our business, whether whatever we have invested in terms of IT infrastructure as well, whether that investment is giving us some revenue or not. Now, when you go towards Industry 4.0, obviously, when you go from one stage to another, you will have some challenges. So these are the basic challenges, basically, when you move towards Industry 4.0. So the biggest challenge is having legacy systems, right? So when you want these legacy systems to be connected and to be available as a single dashboard, so you want them to connect it to your existing IT infrastructure, be it on wireless or wired switching as well. So, but then you do not have a good interface to connect. So we'll see how these legacy systems can be connected onto your existing IT infrastructure. Change management, right? When it comes to change, this is the biggest stumbling block in any ways, whether it is social or professional life. So your people don't want to change, the way it has been working, go the monotonous way as well. So you need to have your IT or skilled labor to change their mindset. To adapt to the new systems that are being introduced into your basically company. Talent management, this is another hindrance when it comes to Industry 4.0. You need to train people to adopt, and so that adapt to these new systems or the infrastructure that you are building and deploying into your basically company. And then obviously at the top level is basically program management and the commitment from the leadership to move towards Industry 4.0, whether in terms of be it in terms of technology investment, and then the ROI as well. So how do we start, or how do we get motivated towards Industry 4.0, right? So basically, what are the processes? What do you do with the existing people, or you introduce new set of people with new skills, right? What type of technology you would like to introduce, right? What are the return on investments when when you think about these new technologies which are there available in the industry, whether it is Wi-Fi or the 5G or the IoT, right? So basically what you need to do is basically we assess what is your need to transform, right? We talk to different people in different industries in terms of technology and start assessing with respect to your needs. We need to be very clear in what goals you have, right? And whether the goals match those investments that you're trying to make in terms of operational requirements. once you have done the assessment and defined your goals, right, you may do some kind of a pilot project, right, or or run a prototype in terms of how feasible whatever technology you're deploying, moving towards industry 4.0, and you understand what are the feasibilities, whether it is possible, what are the challenges, how do you overcome those challenges. So basically, these prototypes or pilot projects help you in those. And then finally, when you have come across, you have concluded, we have the different stakeholders, whether it is the top management, the workers, or even your vendors that you whom with you are working in terms of different technology. You come across a common agreement towards deployment, execution as well. So what is industry IoT and 4.0? So let's see. Uh, IoT is one thing where you have the different IT infrastructure connected over the internet, and having basically an overview. You get a single pane of management. But when it comes to industry IoT, you will have the non-IoT devices as well connected. So be it be your PLC or SCADA systems, they will also get connected to your IT infrastructure, where you can use a variety of technology. It can be Wi-Fi, it can be IoT, or it can be the 5G as well. So and then get connected to the IT infrastructure, manage it through your cloud or whatever applications that you have for this end non-IoT devices. When it comes to Ruckus, basically we have a lot of offerings in terms of Wi-Fi, IoT, 5G, right? We have different management platforms which can get integrated with your endpoint applications as well. We offer APIs. We have the different management solutions from IoT, which I'm going to talk about. And then most importantly, is the security. How are you going to secure once you have these devices connected? A variety of non-IT as well as IT devices connected. How do you segregate the data? How you secure these data from one type of user to another? That is also becomes very critical. So I'm going to talk about all these things as well. So here, basically, you understand the levels of industrial systems. Basically, you have the different machines and tools. You will have the different types of sensors, like temperature sensors, or different sensors in different verticals or industries that we are using. You will have your usual PLC and SCADA systems. Basically, all these systems have been non-IT devices. Lately, they have been converted. They have the interfaces to get connected to the IT device, IT infrastructure as well, whether in terms of having as simple as an Ethernet port, or when you could talk about the handheld terminals which are used, they are also coming up with having a Wi-Fi connectivity as well. Right, so you will have these machines and tools connected through, so we call it as the OT, and then these OT systems get connected to the IT systems. And at the back end, these IT systems or machines and tools get managed through your ERP, CRM, and different applications that you have. They can be in your network or in the cloud as well. So when you go into the detail, this is how it would look in terms of the architecture. You will have different layers. So you'll have sensors and controllers. These will get connected to your cloud gateway in terms of IoT, Wi-Fi, 5G type of technologies, or even wired technology through your cloud gateway. Then once they are routed and get accumulated at the cloud gateway, these data has been processed, stored, and they will connect to your different applications. And then basically you will get you will have applications to basically visualize whatever data you have, and take corrective or required actions as well. So in general, basically the manufacturing industry in general has been have moved towards some kind of high-end manufacturing, but general manufacturing was like it was in its native stage, or right, it relied on traditional methods to manufacture, more of a human intervention, right? And not necessarily in requiring to manufacture 24/7. You can even go with basically, or have some kind of a downtime as well, would be okay for you, right? Investments were very low, but then we move towards, we have customers who have moved towards high-end manufacturing. They have introduced lot of automations, IT into this manufacturing. They have investment. They have made investment in terms of in terms of IT as well. And then in terms of increase to with an aim to increase this productivity. They will have that, the manufacturing goes on 24/7, no downtime, no interruption as well. But when it comes to 4.0, right, it's not only about investing into IT, or less basically what you can say, or 24/7 manufacturing, but a lot of investments have been made to automate the processes, right? And that is where my earlier slide, which show you, where a person moves with a forklift and pick up certain materials or do some tasks, that has been replaced by the industrial robots, right? So, and these industrial robots in turn connect to your IT infrastructure, and in the backend get access to the whatever ERP applications or HANA applications that you have. Not only that, it is the age of digitalization as well, right? So as I said, you have these devices connect to your IT infrastructure, and you get a single pane of management, to manage the IT as well as these non-IT devices, and it is called Internet of Everything. So right from different stages, whether it is R&D, production, stages of manufacturing, or whatever processes and devices that you have, or the infrastructure you have, will get connected through this IT. And these are the various areas where you can go for automation in manufacturing. So the most important one is the production lines, R&D, and then obviously when it comes to manufacturing, you will have warehouses as well. So there will be a lot of automation that would be required in warehousing and logistics, where you will have your barcode scanner, handle terminals also connecting to the network, whether it will be wired or wireless network or IoT technology. And to some extent, yes, you will have offices also which will get connected. So you will have all the stakeholders connecting common network and access the systems. Now these are basically the devices. So you will have these robots, we call it as the autonomous mobile robots, which move across in these manufacturing environments, or you will have automated guided vehicles, we call it as the AGV, which will also connect to your networks, robots, PDA scanners. All these things will be used, whether it is the manufacturing area or the warehousing, or the production lines as well. So these are some examples of the devices which will get connected. Now moving towards 4.0, where I earlier mentioned, right, you will have these legacy systems which may not be compatible to get connected over your existing IT network, right? So you will have the new generation tools or machinery which will easily get connected to your existing IT network. Then you will have these old equipment. So what do you do with these old equipments? Basically what you do is basically retrofit that machinery, which will have some kind of a connectivity, wired, wireless, or IoT capability, and you retrofit them in these devices, as you can see over here in some of the images, right? And then connect them to your existing network, right? So you will have, there are a lot of third-party sensors or human machine interface which will get connected on your wired network, and once they have the capability to connect to the existing network, whether it is wireless or wired, you can manage them the way you like, right? Okay, so obviously once you connect these devices, your endpoint devices, sensors, PLC systems, SCADAs and all, it is not just about connecting them, and increasing your productivity as well. You need to have some kind of a data of what you have invested, whether it is giving you some kind of an ROI. So you need to have some data, to understand this, and that is where basically AI and network automation comes into the picture. So AI and network automation will give you data. It will help you to understand the data, analyze this data, and in turn help you to reduce your cost, basically increase your productivity as well. And it will make sure that whatever you have deployed is available 24/7. Whatever you have deployed is reliable, so that since you are deploying these robots and all, you take out this or subtract the human factor from the picture, and thereby increase the performance, right? So you can fine tune. If you see, once you analyze the data, if you see, okay, my network is not performing or not getting the desired results, you can fine tune your network to have the desired results as well. So AI ML is basically not a luxury these days when it comes to manufacturing or any industry. It is not an optional, basically. So it is required. Network intelligence is something which has become very mandatory today, especially in manufacturing, right? So these are some factors or figures which tells you that how important AI ML is becoming today in the manufacturing industry, right? So you can reduce your customers churns, right? You can retain your customers. Whatever problems come to your network, AI and ML will tell you beforehand, before even your end user can tell you and report it to you, so that you can resolve those issues faster, right? It will save a lot of your IT time. Basically it will reduce, it will move towards something called as the lean IT, which is very demanding in manufacturing today. It will help you to prioritize your operations, and it will basically come up with your fewer help desk tickets when it comes to IT, right? So less problems will be reported. And how does Ruckus help in all these things, whether it is Industry 4.0 or AI, ML? What are the technologies Ruckus has to offer, right? So Ruckus has a portfolio where we can connect, or we have the ability to connect any device which is there in your manufacturing environment, whether it is wireless or wired or IoT, and connect them basically to your cloud applications as well, right? So it can be your AGV or IoT sensors or your handle terminals, SCADA systems, PLC, whether you require a copper connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity, or any area that requires connectivity to the IT, we have the ability to provide that kind of an infrastructure. So this is just one example of how what we do in terms of IoT or IIoT, right? So I'm going to talk about that as well. So you will have these sensors, different types of sensors working on different technologies, whether it is BLE, ZigBee, LoRa, or Wi-Fi, and they connect to. We have the ability to provide you with a gateway. That gateway connects with you on the wired as well as wireless connectivity. At the same time, we can help you secure different types of traffic. Here you can see an example where the Wi-Fi traffic is getting segregated from the IoT traffic, put physically as well as logically, and then getting managed basically through your third-party management systems from an IoT perspective that you have, right? And there can be different IoT solutions that we have. It can be a physical security, locks, lighting systems, temperature-based systems, location-based services. We have the ability to connect any type of sensors to the backend system. In terms of a portfolio, this is what our portfolio has to offer. So we have the Wi-Fi access points, which are greatly used today in manufacturing industry. We have a lot of customers who are using or deploying our Wi-Fi access points, whether it is indoor, outdoor, in an open environment, right? We have the network switches. We offer switches right from 1 gig, multi-gig, and provide you up till 100 gig of connectivity through our switches. To manage these access points and switches, we have a management platform. So we have a variety of management platform as per your liking or scalability or flexibility that you're looking at. So basically, we start with an on-prem solution which can be installed in your network and manage these Wi-Fi access points and switches. It can be an hardware appliance or a software which can get installed on your own network or hardware, so that you reduce your cost, you reduce your power, or reduce your rack space within the IT infrastructure. If you want to manage the switches and APs from a cloud, you can as well. We have a cloud offering as well. We have an IoT controller or an IoT management platform as well. Okay, so that can integrate with the different IoT ecosystem vendors, and these are all open-ended systems. So there's no issues of compatibility as well. In terms of software and cloud services, we have security solutions as well. So CloudPath is a security solution which can provide you with security of your endpoint devices, not only your laptops or mobile, but also your legacy systems like Wi-Fi printers, handle terminals, barcode scanners, barcode printers as well. So we have a good security story in terms of that as well. We have an AI and ML solution in terms of called Ruckus Analytics, which I'm going to talk about in detail as well. So Ruckus is in a position to offer you the entire pie, right? So whether it is connectivity in terms of wired, wireless, right? Our management solutions come with open platform API, so you can integrate with any northbound interface or solutions that you have in your network. We have different monitoring solutions in terms of incident reporting, and which I'm going to talk about. So you get an entire visibility of what is happening in your network, what are the issues. We have a good authentication and security solutions, and these authentication and security solutions provide you with configuring policies or role-based access control as well. So end-to-end story in terms of connectivity is what we provide. So for example, the AP, the Wi-Fi AP that you deploy. So our AP is capable of taking any type of traffic into your network. So whether it is IoT traffic in terms of say BLE, ZigBee, our latest Wi-Fi 6 access points have the ability to connect IoT sensors as well to your to the backend network. Why this is important is because you do not need to have a separate IoT infrastructure to be deployed, right? So you can have a common gateway for your IoT, including your Wi-Fi network, and we are working towards where the same box can carry even the 5G traffic. We have access points not specific to the India market, but we have in the US. We are in a position where you can create a common gateway for Wi-Fi, IoT, as well as cellular traffic, right? So you can customers in the US, they can have their own private LTE network also created, like you have your own Wi-Fi network. And so we have a converged story wired. So we have the switches, so you can carry the Wi-Fi traffic or the IoT traffic over the network switches. And we have a good management story. So not only in terms of hardware, but how you manage this Wi-Fi or IoT traffic. So we provide you with an end-to-end converged network through our access points and management solutions. So when you talk about Wi-Fi, right, there are some challenges when it comes to in the manufacturing sector, whether it is production or the warehouses that you have, right? So you require very high reliability when it comes to Wi-Fi. So you need to deploy very fast because you cannot wait. The downtime is very important, right? You require almost zero downtime. Network should be up and running all the time. Throughput, latency, these are certain challenges that you will always have when it comes to the manufacturing environment. And the biggest part is the interference. So a lot of noise will be created which will interfere with the Wi-Fi network. So there will be a lot of these machineries which will create noise, which are non-Wi-Fi interference, what we call it. That will be reflections, metal environments, which will actually hamper the Wi-Fi performance that you deploy. And also in terms of warehousing, right? So you'll have a lot of racks, meshing, which will happen, and these will act as an hindrance for the Wi-Fi performance. So you'll have issues like signal not available where you require the proper Wi-Fi signal, right? And these devices also pose challenges like the AGVs, the autonomous mobile robotics, or the PDAs which move in the deep or the remote areas within warehouses. So how Ruckus can help in these challenging environments, and we have customers who have deployed our APs, right? So Ruckus, we have more than 100 patents which works purely on wireless, right? And Beamflex is one of them. So we customize the antennas within the AP rather than having the the omnidirectional antennas. So we go with a very complex antenna design where we have a array of antennas which focus. We detect the clients. We have the smart operating system called as the Beamflex within the AP and the hardware, which has the intelligence to know where the clients are which are connected and provide coverage only in those areas. We'll provide you with more capacity and thereby reduce the interference which is there in this. Right. And this is one good example, right? So you will have these PDAs which will be which you hold it either vertically or horizontally. So we have dual polarized antennas which detect what is the polarization of your end devices like handheld terminals, and automatically align that kind of an antenna in the AP with that client, so that you get the best performance from that AP. So this is just couple of examples where Ruckus works towards and helps in the manufacturing industry, not only from what you can say from a software perspective, right, from the physical layer, the RF layer, and ensures that the user who connect to our network get the best performance. Talking about security, which is very, very important, we have a good security story as well. So we have Ruckus Cloud Path, which is basically has the ability to connect any type of user or any type of device within an environment, and not only connect but provide them with a secure connectivity as well, right? So if it is your usual laptops, we provide you with, or your mobiles, we provide you with something called as a certificate based security or authentication, basically, which ensures that not only the right user but that user logs in from the or authenticates through the right device as well. And so that is where the PKI or the certificate based system comes into the picture. You may have devices which are non or headless devices like your wireless printers, barcode printers, handle terminals as well. So which are not basically we call it as the headless devices. So we have the ability, or Ruckus Cloud Path has the ability to connect them as well securely into the system. We have different types of security or authentication system like MAC address authentication, or policy based authentication systems which can connect these devices securely as well. Even in terms of users, you can have different types of users. In-house users can get connected over the traditional authentication system like Active Directory. You may have some temporary devices like BYOD, personal devices, which you want to give access so that you increase the productivity of your employees. So you can have different policies for a same user, whether he's connecting from an IT owned device, you give him a separate policy. If he's connecting through his personal mobile, you give him a separate policy. Or if a guest is coming into a network, so we can provide you with sponsored guest access, SMS based guest access, or a social media based authentication system as well. So different types of authentication system, different types of users, BYOD, or different types of devices can be authenticated through the cloud path system. The most important part is, once you have connected these devices, you need some way to basically analyze the data which is coming into your network, and that is why AI or ML becomes very mandatory. It's not optional. Why AI ML is important? Because you need to know as an IT administrator or as a CIO what are the issues that are coming into your network. Not only that, but basically you need a way to prioritize those issues, or categorize those issues, so that you focus only on basically on the most important issues that have occurred into your network and address those. Not only that, if an issue is coming up, you need to know what is the root cause. So basically an RCA becomes very important, and that is where analytics solutions helps us to understand, or helps us in root cause analysis. AI and ML analytics solution will also help you basically to address once the issues crop up, what are the solutions. So the analytics solution should be in a position to tell you what is the problem, what is the root cause of that problem, and more importantly, how to solve that problem. That is also very useful. So basically you do some kind of a proactive troubleshooting as well. If you do some kind of a changes in your network, you understand, okay, whether the throughput has increased per user, or the latency in your network. So you basically in a position to compare. You can generate different types of reports that are important for an understanding from different level of people or stakeholders that are there in your organization. Like you can create reports which is understandable for an IT admin, or you can generate reports which are basically important to understand from a CIO level kind of a stakeholder as well. Right. So this is very important, and Ruckus offers a very good AI ML analytics solution called Ruckus Analytics. So these are certain examples where which can help in manufacturing. So you need to know what are the scanners working, how are the scanners working in your factory. Is there any issue from the operations team in terms of IT, right? So you need to tell the generate reports. Basically you need to know if there is any outage in the factory floor, right? How do you troubleshoot that, or how do you come to know what is the root cause for that? So these are certain questions that can be addressed through basically the AI and the ML solutions which are offered by the vendors, right? What Ruckus can do differently is, you can have certain SLAs defined in your network. So you can have these connection success ratios. How much time does it get does it take for a user to get connected? What are the different parameters in terms of the infrastructure that you have deployed? What is the latency, throughput, right? So all these basically statistics help you in understanding how your network is performing, and then you take corrective actions as well, right? In terms of IoT, there are a whole lot of use cases that can be deployed when it comes to manufacturing, right? You can do as simple as asset tracking or people tracking, or you can do as complex as something called as energy management. You can have different types of sensors which can be installed, and these sensor traffic can be taken to the gateway, which is our AP, and then the wired network, right? So you can do environmental control, energy management, people tracking, or you can wayfinding, indoor navigation, temperature control, alarms. So you can have sensors connected to your basically cameras, so that one use case is basically if there is some incident which is happening and an alarm, so you quickly look at that camera, the camera gets on, and you can see what is happening in, for example, a fire alarm as well. So basically in terms of IoT, yes, a good story that we have, and we have the ability to manage this IoT traffic as well. So an end-to-end portfolio of when it comes to manufacturing industry that we are able to provide you from Ruckus. So with that, I conclude this session. Basically, I'm open to any questions that you have, uh, so that I can address them. Thanks. Ria?
For reinforcing that the future of manufacturing lies in embracing innovation and and please, now we would like to move forward to our Q&A sessions. May I request all the attendees to put up their question in the Q&A chat box.
Okay. So basically, I see a question. What are the security solutions Ruckus can offer specifically for IoT sensors? Yeah. So basically, it's a good question, right? So I talked about security. So Ruckus offers a security or an authentication solution called CloudPath, where it can authenticate any type of a user or any type of device into the network. It can integrate with any authentication system. Uh, you know, uh, it can be an Active Directory, or basically it can authenticate guest users for. It can generate vouchers as well. When it comes to IoT, the IoT sensors basically when they connect to the AP, we have an IoT controller at the switch level or at the AP level. We can put them in a different VLAN. The traffic which generates from the IoT sensor, and when it connects to the AP, basically the entire traffic is secure in terms of MQTT protocol that is used, and a secure tunnel is established between the sensor and the AP. So, and when it goes from the AP to the backend infrastructure like the AP switch, and then the IoT controller that we have, it goes in a very secure way. And then the IoT controller also connects to the third party IoT sensors software in a secure way. So we provide an end-to-end secure connectivity from the IoT sensor to the IoT managed platform.
Chetan, we have one another question.
Yeah.
On cyber security, how can that be tackled in terms of IoT?
Yeah. So when it comes to cybersecurity, we see a lot of ransomware attacks and all or cyber attacks that are happening. So Ruckus is in a plan where we have introduced a platform where basically a single box kind of a device, basically which has firewall, SD-WAN solution integrated into that platform, and where it can connect or authenticate any type of devices and users as well. So we are working towards the security, or we are coming up with something called as next generation firewall solutions as well, so that we can in future offer it to our customers as well.
Thanks. There's another question. Can CNC based machines be connected to SAP ERP? We were suggested digital manufacturing model.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, right, so whatever connectivity device today are coming or introduced, basically from the box they can get connected to the existing IT network. But we have these legacy systems also. So when I talked about the challenges, right, so these legacy systems pose a challenge. How do we connect these? So we have this interface, the interfaces which are available today in the industry, which can get connected to the legacy systems, and in turn you can connect to your existing IT infrastructure as well. So
Thank you,
I see
Chetan,
another.
for this interactive session.
Yeah. So I see
Ria, just
another.
hold on. We have
That
few more.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
So I see a question say what scalability Ruckus can provide in terms of management of wired and wireless solutions. So when it comes to managing your IT infrastructure, whether it is wired or wireless. So when I talked about the portfolio, we have a good portfolio of connecting wireless as well as wired devices onto the network. But the important part is how you manage your devices once they are onto the network, right? So basically we have different types of management platforms, whether it is on-prem. So at on-prem we have a hardware-based solution or a software-based solution which can scale up till 10,000 APs as well. So we have a management platform which can manage 10,000 APs from a single box or a single appliance or a single software-based solutions. If you do not want to go with the hardware, if you own some kind of a software or a hypervisor in your network, so like VMware, so we can provide you with the software of that management platform, and thereby you can save on the cost of deploying a hardware from the vendor, the AMC cost as well. You can save on the powers or the rack systems that you need to deploy when you buy a hardware appliance. Or if you're looking for a very simplified solution, or if you're moving towards a lean IT kind of a strategy in terms of IoT, we have the Ruckus cloud solution as well. So we have a variety of cloud solutions which you can deploy to manage the APs and the switches that you have to offer. Yeah, thanks.
Chetan, we have few more questions. If you can just see your.
Yeah, so there's a question basically through advanced technology that IoT. Yeah, so basically cybersecurity. So yeah, cybersecurity is a concern, and I know a lot of investments are being made by companies in that. And today there are vendors like Ruckus who are working towards providing solutions to our customers, like providing zero trust solutions, or next generation firewalls. These are the solutions which can address these security concerns. Yeah, so basically there's a question on we want to implement or plan to implement IoT on our shop floor. Can you share your mobile? So yeah, we'll get back to you. With the desired contacts in your region, and we'll help you designing that solution as well for IoT.
Just
Yeah.
one question, Chetan. I can see Ruckus will provide end-to-end connectivity solution or only Wi-Fi wireless solution, that is sensors to servers.
Yeah, so Ruckus basically, right, whether it is wireless or wired. So at the wireless front, the AP that we have, the Wi-Fi 6 APs we have, they can connect the Wi-Fi, or they have the ability to take the Wi-Fi traffic as well into the network, and they have an inbuilt IoT chipset as well, so they can connect IoT sensors as well. We have a lot of testing which have been done by different customers. There are different use cases as well which we have tested, like location tracking or temperature monitoring, humidity control, CO2 monitoring. All these kind of traffic through these kind of sensors can also connect to our APs and in turn to the wired network, and they can be analyzed at the back end through our IoT controller, which can integrate with with the software of these who are manufacturing these IoT sensors. We can integrate with their software and provide you with an end-to-end solution or connectivity. So there is another question which says, do we have any use cases where Ruckus devices can connect to tabs on the shop floor? Yes, we have many customers. Today, these tabs are Wi-Fi enabled, right? And they worked on different operating systems, right from the legacy Windows Mobile to the latest Android. And these have the ability to connect to our APs. So these are Wi-Fi enabled tabs. If they are Wi-Fi enabled tabs, they can connect to our APs. And we have a solution. We have customers who are actually using these type of solutions as part of their automation process, and they are using it successfully, quite successfully. Any other questions that we have?
I don't think so. We can end. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for attending this session. If you have any doubts or if you require any help, you can always get back to us. Over to you, Ria.
Thank you, Chetan, for this interactive session with our participants. And that brings us to the end of this webinar, Industry 4.0, Transforming Manufacturing with Networking. I would request all the participants to take a few moments and fill in the feedback form because your feedback is invaluable to us. And with that, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the speaker and attendees for their invaluable contribution on behalf of Ruckus Networks and Strategic. I hope that this session was inspiring and you have valuable key takeaways.
Thank you.